Imagine the feeling of descending into the earth. Your only connection to safety, a single rope. The air grows colder, the light fades, and the walls seem to close in. But then, the unthinkable happens. One moment they were descending into the unknown. The next, they were plummeting into a nightmare. No rescue was near. Alone and injured, these explorers were left to face the terrifying reality of their situation, far from the reach of help. Are you ready to descend into their harrowing tales? Deep in Texas's untamed wilderness, a mysterious cave waits silently beneath the surface. 09 well stands as a testament to nature's raw power, having claimed lives and forever changed those brave enough to step inside. Experienced cavers know the harsh truth about these underground chambers. Their beauty masks deadly dangers, unpredictable conditions, and sometimes fatal consequences. The whispers about 09 well began circulating in the 1980s. People spoke in hushed tones about its treacherous drops and hidden dangers lurking below ground. The cave's notorious reputation grew in the late 1990s when Joe Ivy entered its depths. Joe stood apart from casual cave enthusiasts. His years of spelunking experience had taken him through the world's most challenging cave systems. Yet, 09 well presented a challenge unlike anything he'd encountered before. Together with his companion Tim Stitch, Joe embarked on a bold mission to 09 well. Their goal burned bright: to discover an unmapped passage within the cave's depths. This drive for discovery fueled experienced explorers like Joe. Money and recognition meant nothing compared to the thrill of finding untouched chambers hidden beneath layers of ancient rock and flowing water. The cave had become Joe's second home through numerous previous expeditions. He knew every detail of the terminal room, felt comfortable in the tight spaces, and had grown accustomed to the cave's perpetual dampness that clung to the air like a heavy blanket. The vertical drops made even veteran cavers pause, but Joe never showed hesitation. Tim had witnessed this fearless determination countless times. That fateful day of September 30th, 2000, Joe and Tim led a group of 16 seasoned cavers into 09 well's depths. They came fully equipped, acknowledging the cave's deadly reputation while remaining determined to push forward. Their mission focused on exploration and mapping the unknown sections. The route through the terminal room demanded multiple rappels down successive drops into the cave's darkness. Joe had orchestrated every detail of the expedition with precision, selecting specific ropes, identifying anchor points, and planning each movement. Nothing remained to chance as they began their descent into the abyss. For Joe and Tim, this mission carried more weight than their usual weekend explorations. The cave drew a significant crowd that day. Texas's tight-knit caving community showed up in force, bringing together experienced explorers who'd shared countless underground adventures. Despite their combined expertise, 09 well demanded absolute respect and focus from every person who dared to enter. The cave's structure challenged them with 3 major vertical drops, each more daunting than the previous. The first descent stretched 30 feet, manageable with proper rope techniques. But the deeper drops tested their skills severely. The team pushed forward until they reached 200 feet below ground level. Deep in the cave's belly, Joe's trained eye caught something remarkable. Above the main passage, tucked away in the darkness, an unexplored opening beckoned. Years of caving had sharpened Joe's ability to spot these hidden treasures. His heart raced at the possibility. Joe's voice carried the unmistakable thrill of discovery as he called Tim's attention. Both men felt the pull of exploration, but reaching the opening posed serious challenges. The climb demanded careful planning, multiple anchor points, and precise execution. Joe's determination burned bright. This could be their chance to leave a lasting mark on caving history. Fate struck without warning. As they prepared their climbing setup, disaster struck. Joe took the lead, securing a bolt into the rock face. Suddenly, the seemingly solid surface crumbled beneath him. The safety rope couldn't fully stop his fall. His body slammed violently against the cave wall, bouncing and tumbling downward. The rescue specialist and other team members sprang into immediate action. Their exciting exploration transformed instantly into a frantic rescue mission. The fall had wedged Joe's body awkwardly between rock formations. When Tim finally reached him, the sight turned his blood cold. Joe barely clung to consciousness. His breathing came in shallow gasps. Blood seeped from numerous cuts across his body. His arm hung at an unnatural angle, crushed by the impact. The signs of severe internal trauma became increasingly apparent. The cave's darkness seemed to press in closer as Tim assessed his friend's injuries. The tight-knit caving community now faced their worst nightmare. One of their most experienced members lay critically injured, deep within 09 Well's merciless depths. The race to save Joe's life had begun, and every second counted in this unforgiving underground battlefield. The rescue team jumped into action with fierce determination. They quickly set up ropes, medical supplies, and anchor points, but every passing minute made the situation more critical. The team's muscles burned as they struggled to free Joe from the cave's grip. The narrow passages and slick rocks fought against them at every turn. Hours dragged by as exhaustion set in, but they refused to give up. The deeper sections of the cave turned the rescue into a brutal battle against time and nature. Their hearts pounded with growing desperation. Then Joe's chest stopped moving. The rescue team finally pulled Joe's lifeless body from the cave's depths, but victory had already slipped through their fingers. Despite their relentless efforts, they couldn't save one of caving's brightest stars. Joe Ivy, a legend in the underground world, died in the very environment he'd spent his life mastering. The news hit the caving community like a physical blow. Joe's absence left a gaping hole in their ranks. His vast knowledge, generous mentorship, and adventurous spirit had shaped countless careers. He'd guided new explorers into the underground world, teaching them to navigate its challenges safely. Now, darkness claimed their trusted leader. Joe's death sparked a powerful movement in the caving world. 09. Well still stands as a formidable challenge. Its dark passages continue to draw bold souls into the unknown. But now, it carries extra weight, a stark reminder of exploration's steep price. Joe Ivy's story burns bright with passion, courage, and ultimate sacrifice. His drive went beyond simple thrills. He pushed into the darkness to unlock Earth's hidden secrets, to understand what lay beneath our feet. Today, 09 Well commands deep respect among cavers. They speak Joe Ivy's name with hushed admiration, remembering a man who gave everything to uncover underground mysteries. His spirit lives on in that cave, inspiring new generations of explorers who venture into its depths. His legacy flows through every rope dropped and every passage mapped, reminding them that true discovery demands both courage and respect. George Lenain, a 38-year-old company director from Bristol, England, lives an extraordinary life. He excels in multiple fields. His social media profile showcases his diverse talents: engineering, scuba diving, caving, and a passion for hot sauce. Born in Fareham near Portsmouth, George grew up in a naval family. His father's naval career sparked George's love for adventure early on. Mexico changed George's life in 2014. A scuba diving experience in a cenote, an underwater cave, ignited his passion for cave exploration. He threw himself into cave diving, dedicating countless hours to master the skills through rigorous training. His fellow adventurers know him as a tough, skilled explorer who never compromises on safety in dangerous situations. The caving community holds a special place in George's heart. He believes cave exploration creates unbreakable bonds between enthusiasts. His dedication shows through his volunteer work with the South and Mid Wales Cave Rescue Team, where he combines his exploration skills with helping others in need. Caving demands more than just courage. It tests both physical endurance and mental strength. George emphasizes that caving focuses on discovery rather than thrill-seeking. cavers push through challenging conditions, squeezing through tight spaces, navigating wet and muddy passages, all to witness stunning underground worlds with massive chambers and spectacular formations. Ogof Ffynnon, the Cave of the Black Spring, stands as George's favorite exploration spot. This remarkable cave system in South Wales holds the title of Britain's deepest cave, plunging 902 feet deep and stretching over 31 miles. Its complex maze-like passages, rushing underground streams, and stunning rock formations make it a caver's paradise. Yet these beautiful caves hide deadly risks. Flash floods, falling rocks, and treacherous terrain can transform an exciting adventure into a fight for survival. George would soon face this harsh reality firsthand. On November 6, 2021, George embarked on a caving expedition with his friends Mark and Melissa. They planned to explore the Upper Smithy, a lesser-known section of Ogof Ffynnon. The group aimed to return within 6 hours, planning to catch the fireworks display at the South Wales Caving Club headquarters. The team ventured into the cave early that day, making their way through slick, wet passages. The recent downpours made every step tricky, but their excitement grew as they discovered the cave's hidden wonders. After exploring for several hours, they decided to turn back. Their exit route led through the Upper Smithy, the most treacherous section ahead. Mark and Melissa crossed safely, but fate had different plans for George. As he stepped forward, trusting what looked like solid ground, everything changed in an instant. The rock floor crumbled beneath his feet. George plunged 30 feet into darkness, with rocks and boulders crashing down on him. The brutal impact knocked him out cold. George woke up to searing pain shooting through his body. The fall had left him severely injured. 4 ribs cracked, his collarbone out of place, his jaw smashed, and his right leg badly hurt. Blood poured from a deep gash running from his mouth to his chin. Mark scrambled down to help George, while Melissa stayed close by. Seeing George's critical condition, Mark knew they needed professional help fast. He made the tough call to race out for rescue teams, leaving Melissa to watch over George and keep his spirits up. The next few hours hit George like a nightmare. Each breath brought waves of agony, and he battled to stay awake, knowing unconsciousness could mean death. Melissa kept talking, bringing up stories about his life and Julie, trying to distract him from the pain. Mark burst out of the cave at 2:30 p.m. and raised the alarm with the South and Mid Wales Cave Rescue Team. Help mobilized immediately. The rescue effort grew massive, with over 250 volunteers from different cave rescue teams joining forces. The rescuers faced a daunting task. George lay trapped deep inside, beyond dangerous passages and an underground river. Getting him out meant stabilizing his injuries, carrying him through rushing water and pulling him up vertical drops and through narrow spaces. Time crawled by as rescuers pushed forward. In the cave's darkness, Melissa fought her feelings of helplessness while keeping George focused. At last, around 4:30 a.m. on November 7th, the first rescue team reached George. They quickly checked his condition and started preparing for the grueling journey to safety. The rescue team jumped into action, carefully securing George's broken leg with splints and giving him strong painkillers. Still, the pain ripped through him as they moved him onto a stretcher, wrapped in waterproof gear, for the river crossing ahead. Getting George through the cave pushed everyone to their limits. Teams worked non-stop in 6-hour shifts, fighting their way past jagged rocks, tight corners, and rushing water. They stayed connected using cutting-edge radio gear, sending constant updates to the surface team. The rescuers refused to give up despite the brutal conditions. They made vital stops to warm George with electric heating packs and pump him with medicine to stop his internal bleeding. After 54 brutal hours underground, the team finally broke through to the cave entrance. They rushed George straight to the hospital, where doctors worked around the clock on multiple surgeries. His incredible fight to stay alive left the medical team stunned. The rescue mission made history as one of Britain's most challenging and successful cave rescues ever. It showed just how much people can achieve when they band together with total dedication. The ordeal transformed George's life forever. Though still healing from his injuries, his love for caving burns as strong as ever.